Sound, line up. Wagon wheels Watusi.
Yeah, wagon wheel Watusi.
Mission Zach.
What's something cool you watch this week? Zach?
Well, I'm going to let you choose which I talk about. I watched some cool ones this week, but I'm going to let you choose out of two because the tone of the conversation is entirely dependent on what you
I want to
choose.
keep it happy.
Well, then I watched Burlesque.
Oh, that's fun. Had you ever seen it?
No, I'd never seen it, and I won't talk about American History X. I'll talk about Burlesque.
Good stuff.
Burlesque.
What did you think?
Oh, it was good. It's
Isn't
good.
it just the most tastiest, delicious honey?
Do you know about Burlesque, Tom? Let me
I'm
tell
gonna
you
look it
about
up.
Burlesque. Burlesque.
You're a music boy. I can't believe you haven't
I'll
seen
tell
it.
you about
Yeah.
Burlesque, Tom. Burlesque tells the story of a young, simple girl living in rural America, but she leaves in a scene that feels like it's 4 scenes in, but somehow it's the first scene.
Yeah.
She leaves. She's played by Christina Aguilera in a wig, bad wig, and then she leaves and she goes to Los Angeles, but this Los Angeles rains a lot. And then she's walking around, she doesn't know what to do, and she's walking around to a remix of The Beautiful People by Marilyn Manson. She's like, what am I going to do? And then she walks past a little club, a burlesque club,
If you will.
and she walks down those stairs, and the guy from the 1998 revival of Cabaret, Alan Cumming,
Oh, yeah, Alan
is
Cumming.
working behind the ticket desk, and he's like, it's going to be $20. She's like, oh, she pays $20. She goes in, and Cher is on the stage, and she's like, welcome to the burlesque club. And she's surrounded by a bunch of like Pussycat Dolls looking girls. She
And
goes,
Stanley Tucci's
there's
there.
nothing better than burlesque. And then
Yeah.
Stanley Tucci's doing his best. Like he's like, honey, you gotta get out of here. What's happening?
Yeah.
And then what I just described to you, that moment, you go, ooh, what's the plot gonna be? Tom, I've described the plot. Rinse and repeat. Welcome to the burlesque club.
It's joy watching it. It's just
unhinged.
unhinged.
It's some of
And
the weirdest editing.
She's just like, I want to be in the show. And Cher naturally is like, I don't know you. You haven't auditioned. You've walked in off the street. In fact, I've hired you as wait staff. I'm not just going to put you in the show. And she's like, well, tell me what you want. From watching the dances, I know all of these intricate dances by heart. And so Cher just goes, do wagon wheel Watusi.
Wagon wheel Watusi.
Yeah, and
That's what she's like.
yeah.
I can do any. I can do it. It's the best.
And
She's
she
like,
calls over her shoulder in an empty fucking
she goes, I can do any. I can do any. She's like, sound, line up. Wagon wheels Watusi.
Yeah, wagon wheel Watusi. And then someone starts playing it, spot like the lighting's all there and shit. And Christina Aguilera then proceeds to do an incredibly intricate dance to something called Wagon Wheel
But it's
Watusi,
also-
and then gets hired.
But then of all the dances, it's the one that's the most. It's like this weird 60s flappy dance.
Yeah.
So it's just like they didn't have to make it that dance.
Yeah.
So it's the hardest thing for sure to say.
Yeah.
And the dance is Christina Aguilera like flapping about.
Oh.
And then it has to have, like, it's so bad and weird looking that it has to have Stanley Tucci lean over to Cher and be like, you got to admit that's pretty good.
And then after that, because Kristen Bell is there as well. So
Yeah, Kristen Bell's the baddie.
Kristen Bell has been in a lot of these burlesque shows, so she's hired. And then everyone's just like, "Wow, she's such a villain," because fucking Christina Aguilera takes her job. And shit, like, I'd be so pissed if I was Kristen Bell in this, and I'd been hired, and I showed up at every show, and I was doing a really good job, and all of a sudden, this wait staff goes, I can do wagon wheel Watusi, does it one time for Cher and takes my job.
Well, no. So first, she after the dance, she gets it. But then what happens is Kristen Bell stops all the music.
Yeah, that's right.
She
Okay, she
stops
does
all
do
the
baddie
music,
stuff.
right? So she does a baddie thing. She stops all the music, and then Christina Aguilera is like, "What are we gonna do?" And Cher goes to Stanley Tucci, "Close the curtains." And then starts closing the curtains. And then Christina Aguilera is like, "Fuck, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do?" You know, I was just a background dancer. All the sound has been turned off, including the microphones. Now you know how sound works, Tom.
Yeah.
You need microphones. But they don't consider that.
Yeah.
And then Christina Aguilera just steps forward and she's just like, whoa, 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 whoa. And then the band's like, yeah.
Yeah. Boom, 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 boom.
She's like, whoa.
It's so
And then
good.
and then Cher's like, oh, lift those curtains back up. The movie is
Unhinged.
80% people in the audience reacting with that like knowing nod. You know that one shot you do at the end of the movie where people are like, hey, they're doing all right. And it's one shot. The movie is 80%
that.
those shots.
10% Stanley Tucci making witty quips about everything, and 10% Christina Aguilera going, oh, wow!
And then there's a guy that works behind the bar. He's the love interest, right? The straightest guy I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen a straighter man in my life. Like that man, that guy, is so straight, right? Yeah. And then because he wears eyeliner, this movie was made in 2012, 2008.
that, yeah.
Because he wears eyeliner, we're like 20 minutes into meeting him and she's like getting naked around him and stuff because she goes and lives with him for a bit. And then he's like, my fiance. And she's like, wait, you're straight? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, but you wear eyeliner?
It's so, you've got to watch it.